And hello, a very good evening to you. We've got international World Cup qualifiers football tonight. We're at Wembley Stadium for alternative commentary. This is JB, your alternative host and commentator. I'm doubling up tonight. But I'm not on my own tonight because we're going to be getting live updates from Scotland match against the Faroe Islands, and we'll be crossing over for the team news on that very shortly. England top of Group I with 19 points so far. Albania second, but an English win tonight could take them well up, possibly beyond the threshold and get them to Qatar for next year. Right, before the teams come out at Wembley, let's just quickly check on with the team news over in the Faroe Islands as Scotland take on the Faroe Islands in a very winnable game for the Scots. Hopefully, no repeat of what happened on Saturday at Hampden Park, where they had to come from behind twice in the most dramatic fashion. And doing the reports for us tonight is a guy who's making his TCO debut. Let's welcome along Ryan Francis. Ryan, what's the team news up there?
I'm glad to be here, JB, and let's start with the home team, which is the Faroe Islands. So Getson is in goal, followed by Faroe, Ventisildal, Natstad, make up the defence, and then the midfield is Rollinston, Van Hammer, Hendrickson, Olsen, and Davidson, and the front three of Hansen, Edmondson, and Johnson. And looking at the Scottish team, we're looking at Craig Gordon in goal. Hendry, Hanley, and Tierney make up the back three. Fraser, McTominay, Gilmore, and Robertson make the midfield four. McGinn, Christie, and London Dykes, who is in great scoring form, is the man up front. So I definitely think we could be in for a great game today. But also we could be in for a very, very busy game as the rain is lashing down here and referee Mr. Jug could be in for a very busy night. But both teams have something to play for in this game. Scotland need 2 out of their last 3 games need to be wins to secure that second place. And the Faroe Islands are playing a catch-up game, but could still qualify if they win their next 3 games and results go in their favour. The teams are coming out here, so I'm going to head back to UJB at Wembley.
Thank you very much indeed, Ryan. And we'll be checking on Ryan Francis a little bit later on during the first half and throughout the evening here on the commentary hub as the two sides, side by side, Hungary and England, make their way out in front of 70,000 supporters. It's been quite wet and rainy in England as well, I should also add. Quite chilly as the referee from Spain gets the match ball and the teams will walk out side by side. Harry Kane leading out England. It's the strongest lineup they could possibly have. And Hungary, no. Their task now, they're 9 points behind England in the group. And games rapidly running out. A far cry from Veron Puchkasako, who taught England a real footballing lesson all the way back in 1953 at the old Wembley Stadium. But times are much different now, and England really on top of the world at the moment, if not winning any competitions at the moment. But a win here tonight surely would take them to the step towards the World Cup next year. Let's just pause for a second while the national anthems are now playing, starting with the Hungarian national anthem. And we're just waiting for a second. Now we can hear the national anthems. So with great gusto, and now listen to 70,000 Englishmen and women passionately sing the England national anthem, God Save the Queen. Well, a huge roar rounds up around Wembley Stadium. The arch in red and white here at Wembley Stadium. We had pyrotechnics before the teams came out. The lights were dimming and flashing, and goodness knows what else, akin to what happened at Celtic Park a couple of weeks ago when we were there commentating for the TC Hub on that Europa League game, which they lost 4-0. Right, I'm sure you want to know about the team lineups. Yes, you do. Let's start with England first, with Jordan Pickford in goal. So it's a back four tonight of Kyle Walker, John Stones. Tyrone Mings gets the opportunity to show what he's all about in the number 6 shirt. And then Luke Shaw playing at left back. 3 in the midfield with Phil Foden of Manchester City, Declan Rice of West Ham, and Mason Mount of Chelsea in that midfield. And then up front, we've got 2 players from Manchester City and 1 of Tottenham Hotspur. Raheem Sterling, who will play on the right-hand side. Harry Kane in the centre. And Jack Grealish, also of Manchester City, in the left-hand side. On the bench for England, it's Sam Johnston, Aaron Ramsdale, Kieran Trippier, who captained the side against Andorra on Saturday. Jordan Henderson, Conor Cody, Tomori, Ben Chilwell, Tammy Abraham, who got a brace on Saturday, Bakaru Saka, Jadon Sancho, James Ward-Prowse, who scored as well in that game, and then Ollie Watkins. For Hungary, Peter Galassi is in goal, Adam Lang, Nagy, Attila Zazari, and Akos Keleskis at the back. And then it's Shkon, Adam Nagy, Lockett Nego, Andres Schiefer in midfield. And then it's Roland Salali and Dominic Zoborowski up front. And we're now just going to pause for a second or two before I give you the Hungarian substitutes. To 2 greats of English football who sadly died, of course. One of them being Roger Hunt, who died last week, and of course the week before that, the great Jimmy Greaves. And if you haven't seen his documentary that was shown on television last night on ITV, I suggest you give it a watch after you've listened to this game, because it's quite a heartwarming documentary. So we're just going to pause for a minute's applause in honour of Jimmy Greaves and Roger Hunt. And yes, fantastically observed by everybody there. There's 2 of Jimmy's sons there, Danny and Andrew. Guest of honours in the Royal Box tonight at Wembley Stadium. Right, the substitutes for Hungary. Bogdan, the goalkeeper, formerly of Bolton Wanderers in Liverpool. Balak, Solari, Hollender, Boller, Gazdag, Varga, Visi, Hahn and Nikolic. The referee tonight comes from Spain, Alexander Hernandez. 2 assistants, Jose Negandro and Chiado Sabino. Jose Luis Muniera is the fourth official, and VAR referees Juan Martinez Muniera as well. So it's Hungary in red, and they'll kick off attacking the goal to my right-hand side at Wembley Stadium this evening. The England players take the knee in honour, of course, in honour of the racism campaign, of course, the fight against racism. And, of course, that gesture in Hungary a month ago got unnecessary whistles and boos from the Hungarians. But it's a different story at Wembley tonight. It's a partisan English crowd, and off we go then. And away we go. Group I, England, the leaders on 19 points, can definitely put 1 foot on the plane to Qatar next winter with a victory here this evening as well. 2 games to go, and you'd obviously think that they'll take the results on here now. And of course, any developments in the Scotland game, and we'll let you know. We've got Ryan on the case on that one. But 30 seconds gone. England in possession now. Tyrone Mings getting his first touch for England. And here's Luke Shaw now, number 3, playing at left back tonight. There's a 1-2 there. Gets the ball back. Shaw back to Mings. He's deep inside his own half. Finds John Stones. Harry Kane leading the side. Peter Golaski is the Hungarian captain tonight. Made a couple of mistakes in the defeat in Hungary. A month or 2 back as Mount plays the ball to Stones. Stones gets it over halfway. Kyle Walker now will get that forward. Walker made some decent runs against Liverpool last week in that 2-2 draw. Sterling now in possession. Sterling getting it onto Kane. Kane, I thought, was muscled out of it, but the Spanish ref doesn't want to know. Adam Lang there with the challenge. The ball is now with Schaffer. And now England and now Hungary have a chance now to have a little bit of possession. It's back to Peter Kolassi, the goalkeeper, who kicks away left-footed up towards halfway. John Stones now takes possession. England have won their last 3 out of 4. Of course, they drew in Poland. 1 apiece. And it was a tough night. I can remember that particular occasion. I remember commentating on that and thinking that England may have took 2 points away. Here come Hungary now, making a good little break here. Cross comes in and it deflects off Stones, and it'll be a throw into Hungary in line with the English 6-yard box. Their manager there, Marco Rossi. He's been playing his time, but very much the manager now. And Hungary not the football force they once were back in the mid-50s. Of course, they had Puskás and people like that. And of course, Honvéd were one of the great sides in Europe when the European Cup started. In fact, Honvéd were actually the first side to compete in the very first Floodlit match in England. Of course, the great Wolves side, of course, of the late 50s, and Billy Wright and all that lot. Great England internationals of their own esteem. Ron Flowers, all them type of players. Took part in the first ever Footlit match. It was a friendly, of course, and it was a good game. Of course, Puskás and co came over to play Billy Wright and Stanley Matthews in 1953, and really gave England a real reality check in them being pioneers of the game at that time. Puskás, I think, scored 4 goals in a 6-3 win. It's a very, very long time ago now, and time has moved on, and unfortunately Hungarian football hasn't. No foul there on Grealish, but the referee letting everything go in the opening 3.5 minutes here. And here's John Stones in possession here. Live on the TCL, Periscope, Twitter and Twitch. Our broadcast partners are JB Sports, JDAC Football, Storm FM, and Commentary Hub 2. And of course, we have our dedicated Twitter feed at Commentary Live 1 as the ball is checked forward there towards Raheem Sterling, head of the play. Sterling wins the ball back. And England starting decently, but Hungary have made a good start as well. Stones' touch was a little bit heavy, ran into traffic, but he's managed to get the ball back on halfway, and is Run over to the left-hand side. It is Fred Sterling. Now feeds Kane. Kane now looking for the run of Grealish. Grealish touch was a little bit behind him. And the other number 7, Neko, can get it away so far. We'll check in a few moments' time to Ryan Francis in the Faroe Islands. He's our alternative reporter. And here's Jordan Pickford. We called to the side. Didn't play in Andorra. Of course, the build-up to that match on Saturday was marred by a TV gantry fire. You may remember when you watching the Sky Sports channel, and they were talking about what team they were going to pick. There was a fire that set off. It was an electrical fire and destroyed millions of pounds worth of television equipment. There was 2 cameras on that gantry. There was a VAR machine, VAR monitor, another camera on the halfway line. It burnt the 3G pitch, but somehow the game managed to go ahead. And England won 5-0 with a much changed side, that is for sure. Mason Mount winning the first throw-in. 5 minutes gone. Here's Jack Grealish now for England. Grealish trying to turn away from his man. Hungary have brought practically everyone back. Here's Mount. And he fouls his man, and a free kick to Hungary. Let's just check in on how Scotland have started their first 5 minutes with Ryan Francis.
I've got to say that Scotland at the moment are absolutely... I'm amazed that it's still 0-0 here in this game. The Faroe Islands have come out with so much fire in their spirit. Scotland are not matching them at all. And I'd say the best Scottish defender at the moment is actually the referee, Mr. Jugg. He's somehow managed to get in the way of 3 Faroe Islands shots from, I would say, about 30 yards out. But unfortunately, because of the referee has intervened, the play had been stopped and the Faroe Islands attack was looking very dangerous. Scotland have had one half chance from Lyndon Dykes, but it wasn't troubling the goalkeeper at all, and the score remains 0-0. Back to you, JB.
Thanks, Ryan. Meanwhile, at Wembley, while we were away, Jack Grealish had made a good run down the left-hand side, played the ball back to Kane. Just seen a replay here. And it came off Kane's last stuff after the defender Keskes got it away, but it came off Kane's shin. Kane was trying to claim a goal corner. It was never a goal corner in a month of Sundays. So Scotland having a bit of a struggle there, as you heard from Ryan a few seconds ago in the Faroes. I actually thought this might be an away banker tonight for Scotland, but they don't make things easy, do the Scots, as they showed against Israel on Saturday. Winning 3-2. I mean, twice been behind. But they do have a good spirit. But at the moment, it looks as if the referee over there in the Faroes is proving to be their friend at the moment. And England now, I don't think they'll need much luck tonight. They should be hot favourites to beat Hungary tonight. And Hungary have made a decent start here with 7.5 minutes gone here on the TC Hub. Here's Declan Rice finding Tyrone Mings, the Aston Villa defender. And Mings cuts back inside. He's actually come on leaps and bounds in the last 12 months, Tyrone Mings. And he's proved himself since he's gone to Villa to be a very capable defender. And Gareth Southgate has recognised that and has given him his opportunity. Although, as a Burnley fan, I still believe James Tarkowski should get an opportunity. The way he's been playing for Burnley, even though they've been struggling, did really well at the back with Nathan Collins against Norwich the other week. Even though it was a frustrating match, really, for all sorts of different reasons for the Clarets when they drew 0-0. And we won't go over that old ground again because it'll only get me pent up. It's England that we're concentrating on. Here's Mings in possession. Luke Shaw, what a season he's having so far. A little bit back here from Grealish, and Shaw's run onto it brilliantly down the left-hand side. Shaw's crossed into the area and turned wide. Kane was in there inside the 6-yard box. He collided with Galassi, the goalkeeper, and a goal kick has been awarded. But wonderful play, lovely link-up play between Shaw and Grealish. And Kane just needed to have size 12 boots on instead of size 11. And England might have been in front there by a goal to nil. Sterling was also on the scene at the back post as well. But Shaw put in a beautiful low cross. And it just needed the faintest of flicks. And in fact, a corner has been given another goal kick because the defender got in the way there. It was a bit of a crowd scene in there. So a corner for England, right-hand side. In it goes towards the area. There's a bit of pushing going on, and the referee is spotted in, and he's penalised, I think, John Stones, has he? Well, Stones is perplexed. And Nagy is being spoken to there by the referee. I just wonder, let's see what happened inside the area. Well, Nagy there is pushed by over Stones. That should be an English penalty, but the Spanish ref wants a retake. And that's what we're getting. Here comes the corner, right-hand side. A deeper one this time. Kane with a header, which goes just wide. I think he might have fouled the defender there, though, Adam Lang, in the process of trying to win that header, which went wide of the right-hand post. And, in fact, it's a free kick. Excuse me, to Hungary. Bit of controversy in the first 10 minutes here at Wembley. Remember Scotland 0. Faroe Islands 0, Scotland 0, England 0, Hungary 0. We'll try and keep you on the tabs, of course, at half-time as well with the Northern Ireland score as well. Ian Baracus side now really struggling to qualify now to get to Qatar. It was always going to be a tough ask for them. It's very hard to fathom. Wales got an important result last night. They haven't been playing spectacular football, Robert Page's side, but they've got the results. So 4 points from their 2 games leaves them in with a shout. The Republic of Ireland, of course, are out of it themselves. So it's really up to England, Scotland, and possibly Wales to try and qualify. But at the moment, England having good ball possession, 77%, 23% Hungary. England have wasted the best chance of the game. Lovely work down the left-hand channel by both Luke Shaw and Jack Grealish. Grealish especially with a wonderful flick round the corner, which got Shaw in behind. And just as that attack was building, I was just saying how good Shaw has been so far this season. He's made some fantastic runs down the left for Manchester United. Sterling trying to play the ball in, but Kane had to just try and make sure off the onside, and whether he's offside or not. But England starting to purr for the gears, yet to score yet. It took them to the second half in Hungary a month ago to get the breakthroughs. But at Wembley Stadium, it's a kettle of fish. They had 70,000 Hungarians shouting racist abuse, which was completely unacceptable. And we lend our support, of course, to Black History Month, of course. And of course, we also support the discrimination. We also support the fight against racism, of course, in football. No guy should be discriminated for the colour of their skin, and I think that's quite right and fair in this day and age. We all have to be diverse at this moment in time, and we're no different here on the TCO. We're all inclusive channel. We're inclusive to everybody that tunes in. And of course, we had Justin Hoyt in the summer, our resident co-commentator, who's been a bit busy. That's why he's not been on all the stations, but he has assured us that he will be back in the future. He was definitely one of our stars during the European Championships just gone. He played a critical role in co-commentary for the games. We're just looking at the Hungarian fans, and of course they had to play their match the other week, the other day against Albania behind closed doors, and they lost that game. Here's Neko now, right-hand side. Neko cutting in field, plays the ball into the centre. Now number 8, Nagy now, Adam Nagy. Getting out to Subaski, plays the ball in, and that was a dangerous ball. And it was wrong on Solari, who got the effort in the end and just knocked it over the top. It was a lovely bit of move up there. Good cross in from the right-hand side. Yeah, he tried to volley it, and Jordan Pickford having a few words to say to his England defenders at the moment. But Hungary, that's their best moment so far with 13.5 minutes gone at Wembley Stadium. And it's Jordan Pickford with a longer kick this time. England, we all thought they was going to play it to either one or two players. Sterling has got away, giving the man the slip. Sterling now has to check back. Mount chips the ball in, gets a little deflection on the cross. It will be an England corner. We'll be crossing over in a few moments to Ryan for an update on the Faroe Islands Scotland game. See if Scotland have recovered somewhat from a dodgy start over there in the Faroes. Of course, they're not out of it in qualifying for the Euros, as he said. There, 3 wins and other results going their way. Here's Mount now. has to check back inside. In fact, it was Phil Foden, I should say. Here's the ball knocked back there once again. And here's Declan Rice. Rice coming forward. Still 0-0. England in possession. But they played a loose ball there. And now here's a chance now for the Hungarians to come forward. But England are getting men back. Declan Rice got back there and half stopped it. Still the ball out on the left-hand side. Shot comes in. Deflects again. It will come to Sobatsi on the far side. Sobatsi keeps it in. Coming up to 15 minutes gone here at Wembley Stadium on the TC Hub, JDAT Football, JB Sports, Storm FM and TC Hub 2. Plus we're on Periscope, Twitter and Twitch. Live commentary of England against Hungary, 0-0 there. As soon as we get the ball out of play and we get a breaking player, we'll cross to Ryan Francis for an update, for the latest update on the Faroe Islands against Scotland. At the moment, we're staying with the game at the moment with the ball in play. Anything could happen in the next few moments here. Could have seen a goal while we're off the air. And here's Schaffer now coming down the right-hand channel. Schaffer running forward again. Has to cut inside. And he feeds number 19, Shalon. Gets the ball into the penalty area. Chances here now for the Hungarians. And here's Roland Solari. Has to go back. And here's number 3, Hekes. Gets the ball out again. Down the right-hand side, they're having a good little bit of play there. Ball whipped in again towards number 13, Schaffer, and the offside flag has been given. Let's just check in very quickly for a minute or so with Ryan, with Scotland against the Faroe Islands. Ryan?
So the Faroe Islands have put the ball in the back of the net, but it was ruled offside by the minimal of margins. But since then, Scotland have awoken and have been all out attack in the last 3 minutes or so. And just before you came to me, Scotland did have a breakaway with Ryan Fraser, but unfortunately, he was just that little bit too slow and the goalkeeper collected a ball. However, there was a VAR check because there was a collision, but VAR agreed with the on-field referee, Mr. Jug, in saying that there was no penalty. But Scotland have definitely woken up, and this is definitely game on. Let's head back to Wembley.
Thank you, Rye. And here come England in possession now. 0-0 the score. So Faroe Islands having a goal disallowed there. Meanwhile at Wembley, here comes Luke Shaw now from the pass from Mason Mount. Shaw, who's making things happen on that left-hand side already tonight, finds Declan Rice. And again, England have to go backwards. The Hungarians have brought everybody back behind the ball here, making it hard for England to play between the lines. Here's Kyle Walker now to Tyrone Mings. And halfway, still inside the Hungarian half. Here's Shaw for England. Shaw gets it down to Mount. Back to Shaw again. Lovely work down the right. And Shaw's making things happen here for England. Ball chipped out again. And look at this again. Mount now just tackled there. But good defending there by the number 7, Lego, who got it out once more. But England now feisty in the challenges, and fair challenges they are too. Rice now on the left-hand side, still inside the Hungarian half. Now it goes back to Stones, inside the centre circle, and halfway finds Kyle Walker. Walker has number 8, Phil Foden, his Manchester City colleague, in attendance. Now Declan Rice, to the left-hand side it goes to Luke Shaw. Shaw back inside to Grealish. Grealish now looking to find the right ball. Uses Rice again. Here is Rice. England 0, Hungary 0. And of course, we've got the Faroe Islands 0, Scotland 0. When there's a breaking play, I'll give you a little check on Northern Ireland's progress in their match tonight as well. As the ball is sped out from Rice over to the far side. It goes, and it's Walker who takes it down on the chest. Sterling now in possession on the right-hand side. Back to Walker, midway inside the Hungarian half on the right-hand side. Stones in possession now for England. Plays Manchester United's Luke Shaw. Gets a first-time cross into the area. Headed back there quite nonchalantly there. England want a free kick. The Spanish referee saying no. Play on, he says. And then Rice goes in there, and this time the Spanish referee gives a free kick. Rice is claiming he got the ball. The England fans don't like it. Neither do neither does Declan Rice. Now I'm just having a look at the replay. Did Rice get a portion of the ball? Oh, he got a portion of the ball for me. think Solari has calmed the referee a little bit there. Spanish referee taking no prisoners. England had an opportunity as well for a free kick, which wasn't given. England aren't having the best of evenings with the referee at the moment. But it's still 0-0, and England should have enough firepower on that field, you would think, to break down this stubborn Hungarian assistance. Here's Shaw intercepting a bad pass, and the cross just couldn't find Kane. The idea was good, but just couldn't be executed enough. Ball over to the far side. There's a bit of a wrestling match going on the far side, which the referee just lets go. And Stones now has possession. Looks for Declan Rice for England. 20 minutes almost gone. TC Hub, JDAP Football, JB Sports, Storm FMs, and TC Hub 2. We're also on Periscope, Twitter, and Twitch. JB here, John Stuttard in the commentary box, bringing you live commentary, alternate commentary of England against Hungary in Group I of the World Cup qualifiers. A win for England tonight would surely put them a foot and a half, 1 foot and half a foot, but almost 2 feet on the plane to Qatar next winter. A year from now, almost a year from now, a World Cup in winter. Who would have thought it 10 years ago when FIFA decided to give in to the money laundering antics of Qatar? And I know people will have their own views on it, the human rights record and things like that, but it's still a World Cup to be played next year, and England are certainly looking to get there. And here's Jack Grealish now, left-hand side, and Grealish gets the cross in, but it's too close to the goalkeeper, who takes it quite easily and quite confidently on the inside the 6-yard box. So we're coming up towards halfway through the first half here at Wembley. England 0, Hungary 0. Also, we'll have Ryan Francis again in a few minutes with a progress report from the Faroe Islands against Scotland. And if any goals going in that game, we'll cross to Ryan as well for descriptions on how those goals, should they go in, happen. Fouls suffered, 3 in Hungary's favour. England will feel that they should have had a few fouls given in their favour as well. But Spanish referee not winning many friends at the moment with the England supporters here as the band plays again. Plays the theme from the Italian Jobbers. Here comes Neko now, and he gets the ball in. Sean now has it, number 19. Sean goes away from Grealish, gets the cross in, but it comes off Shaw, and Shaw gets the booked away. And the referee is now he's given a penalty for a high foot. Well, I find that amazing. England can't believe it. A penalty has been given to Hungary. Now Shaw cleared that away. I think the Spanish referee's fallen for this. It's a contrick. It's a contrick by Neko, and Shaw can't believe it. Now, I can't believe that's an high foot. He's there to be won. He's got the ball. Neko is probably just, well, I think Neko makes a bit of a meal of it and tries to calm the referee, which he succeeds in doing so. I don't think that's a penalty. I really don't think that's a penalty at all. Shaw has cleared the ball away, in my humble opinion, and England are fuming, and 70,000 English men, women, boys and girls are absolutely fuming. And now it's down to Jordan Pickford. We have a development here at Wembley with halfway through the first half. Jordan Pickford trying to delay the kick, being taken by Solari. That looks a very, very harsh decision with 23 minutes gone. So Jordan Pickford being told to hurry up and get on his goal line. But it's only delaying the kicker here. Now he's been told to get on his goal line. And they're checking this for a penalty, the VAR penalty check. The drama is not over yet because we've got VAR checking at the moment. The penalty take has just been waved away. It looks like the check's complete and the penalty is going to stand. But what a harsh decision. So Roman Solari has a chance to shock Wembley Stadium here from 12 yards. It's going to be right-footed. Can Jordan Pickford pull off a miracle here for England? Solari runs up and hits it right-footed, and he sends Pickford the wrong way. And England are in trouble. 24 minutes gone at Wembley Stadium. And we have a shock on here. England 0, Hungary 1. A debated penalty, really, that was given for a high foot by Shaw. but he cleared the ball away, and he's still furious with the referee. And England may well feel entitled. VAR gave it as well. And the Spanish referee, after a second or two hesitation, gave it. And there's the penalty dispatched into the back of the net. So things not going very well for England. Let's just see that again. I don't think that's a penalty. I've got to be honest. I think the referee's been conned, but there you go. Right, so England are in a spot of bother at Wembley. How's Scotland faring against the Faroe Islands? Let's check it again with Ryan.
The Scottish boys, I don't know how it's happened, but have hit the post, then hit the other post, then hit the crossbar, and then the Faroe Islands broke away on a absolute menacing counter-attack, and Craig Gordon has potentially just saved Scotland's qualifying chances. He has not pulled off just a single save. He's not pulled off a double save, but he pulled off a triple save here to keep Scotland in this competition. It has gone from end to end, and this game has just erupted into life in the last few moments. And there's an attack on here with John McGinn. John McGinn plays the ball through, and Ryan Fraser blasts it over the crossbar. It remains 0-0 here between the Faroe Islands and Scotland. Back to you, JB.
Thank you, Ryan. And England now having to try and dust that controversial moment, which is now cost them a goal, and it's cost them, has put them behind in this game. But they've got to start picking up the pace a little bit. It's a little bit slow for my liking at the moment, but England have enough players on the field to try and turn this one around. It looked a very harsh decision because he got the ball. I think under the laws of the game, I think the referee under the letter of the law probably got it right, but I think in terms of the spirit of the game, I think he could have erred on the side of caution and played on, because Shaw had to kick it away with his foot. There was no way you could get it away with the head, and that's where I feel that the controversy does come in there. I think Hungary were mightily fortunate to get the penalty. But Scotland have had a few opportunities, and, I'll have to watch those Craig Gordon saves back on the highlights package later on television. Solari scores his third goal in qualifying, and now this really opens up a Pandora's box, not just for Hungary, but for Poland and for Albania too. Ball knocked forward now towards Kane. Can Kane get the ball under control inside the area? He goes down and he wants a penalty, and the referee says no. And I have to tell you, that looked more clear-cut penalty than the one that Hungary have just got. The Spanish referee is not winning any friends, and Mr. Hernandez, I don't know what his problem is with England at the moment. That looked a clear-cut penalty, and I wonder if VAR will check it. But England, the ball hasn't gone out of play yet. Well, I was just saying the other week in the Burnley-Norwich game, the ball is out of play now. Surely they must check it. It looked a clear-cut penalty for me from first glance. Now, Kane's got the ball. He's got the... Yeah, look, he's took him out. That's a penalty. He's tripped him. He's hit the back of his foot, and that's knocked Kane over. And that, in my opinion, and only my opinion, that looked a more nailed-on penalty than the one Hungary got. And I can't believe the Spanish referee, the Spaniard, I'm afraid, the Spanish referee is not having his finest hour. And how many times over the years have I said that about a referee? Mr. Hernandez, you're not having the very best of nights, I'm afraid, sunshine. 28 gone on the TC Hub. England 0, Hungary 1. Who saw this one coming? Controversy certainly in the first half, but England have just take the refereeing decisions out of it. England have just got to pick up the pace a bit more, I feel, because at the moment I don't think they're doing quite enough. As the ball is played over to the far side. England 0, Hungary 1 here. Ball back with Pickford. Pickford gets it out to the far side. Can Hungary hang on until half time? That's what Rossi, their coach, will be hoping that will happen. So far, his master plan is working an absolute treat. But England at home, in front of 70,000 Englishmen who everyone was booing as soon as that decision was made, and they were booing again when Kane didn't get his penalty. I have to say that looked more clear-cut than the Hungarian one, because that was a definite challenge from behind. And let's be fair, if the referee had given that anywhere on the pitch or seen that anywhere else outside the penalty area, then there's no doubt at all that would have been a free kick. Plenty to debate here only tonight here at Wembley Stadium. We've had the fair share of drills and spills in the Faroe Islands, but Scotland are holding just about firm there. Ball out to play. It'll be a throw. We come up towards half an hour gone. Southgate side know what the job is now. That is for sure. Remember, England have been behind before. Remember Denmark in the Euro semi-final. They were behind in that one, but not for too long. England are a different animal these days. Here's Shaw, who will feel justifiably angry, first of all, with the penalty being awarded and any yellow card. One can understand the referee's decision there, but I just felt he had to go for the ball with the foot. And I felt the number 7 there, Nego, made an absolute meal of it. But it's 1-0. And England now must come from behind. Walker out to Sterling. Sterling now trying to turn away, but at the moment, well, that's there's a few ironic cheers around this stadium right now. England have got a free kick, which is more than, which actually was the first good decision that they've made in the entire match. The officials. Here's Jack Grealish. Grealish now. Can he spark something into life for England and get themselves back into this game? They've got just under 15 minutes to try and provide that spark now. And here goes Grealish again. He's gone from left to right, and he's left to right flank, and he's got a throw in. Grealish to take it now to Sterling. Back to Grealish. And that looked a foul there. And Grealish and the number 5 there, Nagy. That's Zazolt, Nagy. Now let's see what happened there. I think that's a foul on Grealish, and you can understand Grealish's anger there. And Nagy causing some sort of aggravation. It was a free kick. The referee got it right that time. So Nagy's been penalised. Right hand side. England have got a set play. Set play now. Should have had a penalty. But have had a penalty given against them, which, of course, Solari scored. 2,000 Hungarians rejoiced at that. But England now have got to find themselves a way back into this game, and it's a poor free kick from the far side, I'm afraid. From Phil Foden. Here's Foden again, taking the throw to his Man City colleague. Jack Grealish signed, of course, for £100 million. From Aston Villa. Total attempts. England 1, Hungary 3. Of course, Hungary have had the one on target, which was the penalty. And it will be massively debatable. Be interested to see when I break off for half time what the TV pundits thought of that. Here's Tyrone Mings. Mings has to go back, and he finds Jordan Pickford. And I have to say, Pickford went rather early, diving away to his left, as he looked at it. The ball went the opposite way there. He gave Solari every opportunity to find the left-hand corner to give Hungary the Hungarians the lead. And here go England again with Mason Mount. He's got Shaw hugging the left touchline. Shaw onto Mount. This is a good move again. And Mount was surely taken out there, and the referee agrees. And surely on the Hungarians now, a bit. The other Nagy there, number 8, Lorik, or Adam Nagy, has been penalised here. He absolutely just shoved Mason Mount to the ground. Look at that. How are they not getting bookings for that? That was a clear and obvious booking. That should have been a booking for me. 33, nearly 34 minutes gone. We're coming to the last 11 minutes of the first half, and England now have a free kick. They're 1 down. And here comes the free kick. Mount chips it into off the back post, and Kane can't climb enough. And I think number 7, Neko, got a touch, and it's a corner. The man who calmed the referee, in my opinion, into giving Hungary a penalty, which was not overturned. VAR did check it. I think his reactics calmed the referee and the officials somewhat. England should have had a clear-cut penalty a few moments later. England corner, in from the far side. Rice jumps in there. It's all sorts of confusion between defenders and goalkeepers, and England just can't cash in on those mistakes. We will join Ryan in just a second because England still are on the attack. We've got to stay with this, folks. England 0, Hungary 1. England in possession now with Rice of West Ham. Rice has to go back. In England now frustrated here at Wembley. Kyle Walker now. Can England find a way back into this game? Here's Mings. Mings now looks for options and finds that there's too many obstacles in the way to try and get the ball forward. So he had to go sideways, unfortunately, towards the right-hand side. Stones finds Mings now. Mings now into Grealish. Now, Grealish, can he make something happen? He's away from 2 now, midway inside the half. He was fouled, but the referee decided to play the advantage. Could turn out to be good for England. Sterling now. Oh, that was disgraceful from Sterling. He played an absolute feeble ball, but now it comes to Grealish, and he goes down, and the referee says, yes, free kick. And surely the cards are going to come out for the Hungarians now. Surely. Combination of fouls here. This time the number 10, Trubisky, and number 13, Schaffer, tag teaming to take out Jack Grealish on the right-hand side. It's going to be whipped in again by Foden. His last free kick was an absolute dud. Rice will do well to stay outside at the moment because he's beyond the defenders here. 2 in the wall, but it's right to centre. Can Phil Foden get the delivery completely right? Foden into the area. That's a better delivery and a goal! Fine Sterling, I think. Or is it Stones? It's Stones who's got it. And England is here for the level. 1-1 away with 9 minutes of the first half to go. John Stones, the centre-back, came in at the far post. I thought Sterling had got the final touch. Stones is claiming it. He wheeled away in celebration. What a better free kick from Foden. He found his Manchester City colleague. Ball played in, he's onside, and yes, Stones gets the final touch. And the far post, and England restore parity here. Wretched Hungarian defending came off one of their players into the path of Stones, and with the side of the left foot, couldn't miss there from 3 yards, and Southgate's men are back level. 1-1 at Wembley. Let's see how Scotland are doing. Here's Ryan.
The Scotland and Faroe Islands are both definitely lowering the tempo in this game, and I would say that the passing has also dropped. I don't think like both teams cannot put 2 passes together at the moment, and the most interesting thing that has happened so far is Ryan Christie has been booked by making a very, very silly challenge just outside the Faroe Islands box that came from a John McGinn corner that came off of a Scott McTominay free kick. But other than that, it has been very, very sloppy, and I can't see either team grabbing a goal just before the half. But there is 4 minutes left plus stoppage time, so maybe it can happen, but I just can't see it happening. It's still 0-0.
Thank you very much indeed. And we've got we're a little bit behind. We're 38 minutes into the game here at Wembley. But things just dropping off over in the Faroes. It's all happening here at Wembley. Controversy, debatable penalty that was given, debatable penalty that wasn't given, which looked a more cast iron one than the one England got, that Hungary got against England. And then John Stones scoring the equaliser. So it's all happened here in the last sort of 20 minutes or so here. Here's Grealish now down the left-hand side, and I still think there might be something now before half-time. But England are now in the box seat, in my opinion, even at 1-1. I think England have certainly got themselves back in the box seat. And the ball just ricocheting. A little game of head tennis going on the left-hand side inside the Hungarian half, but Hungary come away with it. And it's their number 19 now, Sharon. Loses possession to Declan Rice. And England now just having good possession at the moment. Sterling back to Walker, back to Sterling, and now Walker. Now Stones, who's got the equaliser. Good moment for Stones. That's the first goal he's got in qualification here for the World Cup finals. Remember, in England, when we put a foot and a half on that plane to Qatar next winter, as Foden goes off in search of trying to get another one for England just before, as we come up towards the final 5 minutes from the break. We'll get a half-time report at half-time in the Scotland game, unless there's any goals scored before then from Ryan, before we break off for a 10-minute break. Here's Grealish inside the area. Jack Grealish now trying to do too much. He should have shot when he did, and then got the cross in from the left-hand side. Comes to Shaw again with a cross back. I just thought Grealish should have pulled the trigger when he got through there and shot across the keeper. He tried to take on another defender, and in the end, England's chance there had just gone. 5 to half-time, just under the 5 minutes to go to half-time. England 1, Hungary 1 in the World Cup qualifiers Group I. On the JB Sports, JDAT Football, Storm FM, TCUB 2, TCUB itself, and Periscope, Twitter, and Twitch. We're also live on. We've also got a live stream of this on our Twitter feed at Commentary Live 1. If you want to tune, if you're tuning in tonight, good evening to everybody on every platform. If you're listed in. We also have a Facebook page, www.facebook.com/the commentary of England. We've got a free kick, and our partners for the season are Sherifa gets a yellow card as well, about time too. And our streaming partner for the season is Melanap. Check out their website at www.melanap.com. 4 minutes to half time then on the TC Hub. Alternate commentary with me, JB John Stuttard of England against Hungary. 1-1 it stands there. We've got Ryan Francis, of course, with updates from the Scotland game. As the free kick comes in from Foden, but it's too close to Galassi. It was a corner. It was a free kick from the far side, the England right-hand side, as they looked at it, and it's an easy take there for Peter Galassi. He was found wanting there on that equalising goal, the Hungarian captain. What a piece! Good game this. And the pace, obviously, is, as Ryan was saying in the Scotland game, has just come down a touch. You're concerned that Ryan Christie has picked up a booking as well for Scotland as well, so Scotland have got to be wary of that. England haven't, it's not been their finest hour, but they're back on parity, which I suppose everybody and his dog would have hoped that would be the case. With 3 minutes to half-time, plus any injury or stoppages. Usually in international games, they don't usually have too much of stoppage time, usually blow for half-time. Here's a kick away there by the goalkeeper, Golaski. We'll be taking a 10-minute break, Ryan and myself, as soon as both games are finished level. We'll obviously get a half-time report from Ryan. But if any goals going before then, we'll nip straight across to the Faroe Islands and let you know what's happened. So don't worry, Scotland fans, we've got you well covered. And of course, at half-time, I'll give you the progress report of the Northern Ireland score. And we'll give you them score, the Northern Ireland score at full-time, at half-time and full-time. We haven't got a reporter for those. But we do have a reporter for Scotland at the moment. It's goalless. Here's Luke Shaw in possession here for England. 2 minutes to half-time, plus any additional time. We will be going over to Ryan very shortly for a half-time appraisal. His half-time appraisal as soon as we're finished here at Wembley for the first half. Here's the ball played back to Shaw. And now Stones. Stones now have to turn. And if he's Kyle Walker. Again, the pace just being slowed down a little bit. Don't forget England, Northern Ireland, 23rd of October with Nicholas Jones on the TC Hub. Of course, Nicholas was busy earlier on tonight covering a delayed commentary on a women's football game, which was streamed live on all TC Hub platforms. I hope you enjoyed that game. And of course, the England squad for that has been announced today. You'll be able to hear Nicholas's commentary on Saturday, the 23rd of October kick off about 5:15 on all TC Hub platforms, including JB Sports, JDAT Football, Storm FM, and the TC Hub 2, and Periscope, Twitter, and Twitch. Here's Kyle Walker now, chips the ball into the penalty or towards the left-hand side. Grealish there, well, like a handball by there, number 7, and in corner given. Came off Neko. It looked like a handball, firstly, from their point of view. Ryan, it's half-time in the Scotland game, but we'll get an appraisal from him at half-time. And we'll stick with this commentary. And then as the whistle sounds at Wembley for half-time, we will cross to Ryan for his half-time appraisal. So he's got about 20 seconds to get his thoughts together while we see this corner to be taken by Luke Shaw on this near side. Can England force a second goal home here before half-time? Shaw's corner, not the best. Headed only half away. And then Rice reloads it into the area. We've played 45 minutes. And we're now into stoppage time. We don't know how long it's going to be added, by the way. We're 6 seconds into that stoppage time. And the ball played back now to Walker. We've only got the 1 minute. So 1 minute has been held up by Mr. Monsuna of Spain. All the officials incidentally come from Spain. They haven't had their finest hour. Ball chipped in there towards Harry Kane on the far post. It was a wonderful 40-yard diagonal ball that's almost picked Kane out. Here's Foden now for England. Looks for Shaw. Shaw now looks into Grealish. He's onside. Grealish now. Mount had to be left there. He couldn't release it towards Man. And Sterling gets it in the back post and then tries to stop the rebound goal, but hits it against the side netting. And England may well have wasted their last opportunity of the first half. Grealish did really well, held it up. Shaw again with a wonderful cross towards the back post. Sterling out, jumped his man there. Nagy, the number 5, and forced a very good save from Peter Kolaski, and then it came to Sterling. Robert too quickly and it went wide. So half time at Wembley, 1 apiece. Not without controversy, that's for sure. John Stones equalising, a penalty scored by Solari. Should it have been given? That is a debatable decision. England have had a number of good opportunities. Could they have had a penalty themselves? Well, that will be a debate, though. Debate over the half-time Cup of Bovril here at Wembley at half-time. Let's just go over to Scotland, to the Scotland game, and get a half-time report from Ryan Francis.
So, towards the end of that game, Scotland definitely took the game by the scruff of the neck, created 2 absolute brilliant chances. First one came from Ryan Christie, who is on a yellow card and unfortunately will miss the next Scotland game by picking up that yellow card. But the second chance, and what should have actually have been the chance that went into the back of the net, was Scott McTominay with about 35-yard shot that tested the Faroe Islands goalkeeper and went out for a corner, which the resulting corner ended up getting whipped into the box by Andy Robertson, and it was definitely looping towards the goalkeeper. Grant Hanley had the rebound, but again put it just wide of the post. So it remains 0-0 at half time. But the Faroe Islands are definitely not being any pushovers. They have created some chances of their own, but nothing to test Craig Gordon in the goal. So it's going to be all to play for in the second half. But as you said earlier, JB, Scotland are not making this an easy task at all. Back to you in Wembley.
Absolutely not, Ryan, by the sounds of it. So half-time there, 0-0. Players have just got off at Wembley for half-time. We're going to have a bit of a half-time cuppa, Ryan and myself, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes' time to check on all the scores. And of course, we'll check on Northern Ireland's scores, and then obviously we'll be checking in with Ryan with regular updates of the second half, and we'll have full second half commentary of England against Hungary. But at half-time here, as we take a short break here on the TCO, we'll be back shortly. It's England 1, Hungary 1, and we'll be back, both of us, in good time for the second half. Welcome back to Wembley Stadium. JB Johnston in the commentary box. Half time here. It's 1-1. 0-0 in the Scotland game. At the moment, we're a few minutes away here from restarting the kickoff. Let me just give you a few half-time scores. I can give you the game that was already been played. It's in Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan 0, Finland 2. That is currently the scores at the moment. Well, let's have a look at what's happening elsewhere. We did promise Portugal 3, Luxembourg 0. That's half-time score. Portugal running a riot there in that group. And, of course, they had a good 3-0 win in a friendly match with Qatar, against Qatar. Serbia 1, Azerbaijan 1. Kosovo 1, Georgia 1. Sweden 0, Greece 0. Now, decent result this potentially for Northern Ireland. They are winning 1-0 at the moment. Washington with the goal after 35 minutes, and that has given them an opportunity. In fact, it was a goal given after a VAR check. The Republic of Ireland have beaten Qatar in an international friendly, incidentally, by 2-0. But a good day from Northern Ireland so far. 1-0 up away in Bulgaria. That's not a bad result at the moment. Lithuania 0, Switzerland 3, Ukraine 1. Bosnia-Herzegovina 0, Denmark 0, Austria 0. This is in Scotland's group, so the Danes being held by the Austrians. Faroe 0, Scotland 0. We'll be back with the second half with that. Regular updates with Ryan. And then it's Israel 1, Moldova 0, and Albania 0, Poland 0. Let's see if we've got all the scores coming in. Let's have a look and just check. England, obviously England 1, Hungary 1, and of course Andorra winning against San Marino. But Albania and Poland, the two rivals for second place, being held. So that's actually probably worked out okay at the moment for England in terms of that qualification. As I say there, everything's happening here. And of course, yesterday, let me just go through yesterday's qualifiers. Iceland 4, Liechtenstein 0. These are all full times. North Macedonia 0, Germany 4, Romania 1, Armenia 0, Belarus 0, Czech Republic 2, Estonia 0, Wales 1. So Wales are still in with a shot of qualifying. Latvia 1, Turkey 2, Netherlands 6, Gibraltar 0, Norway 2, Montenegro 0, Cyprus 2, Malta 2, Croatia 2, Slovakia 2, Slovenia 1, Russia 2, and then it's Azerbaijan 0. That was the other day. Sorry. No, I got them. Yeah, that was I got them there. Slovenia 1, Russia 2. So there were all the games from earlier on. That is for sure. Anyway, let's see. Let's just cross now to the second half. I think they've just kicked off in the Faroes for the second half. We've still to wait the two teams here. Well, while we're doing that, let's just quickly go over to Ryan Francis, who's making his debut for the TC Hub. And I think the second half just about gone underway in the Faroe Islands. Has there been any changes, Ryan, at half time from the Scots or the Faroes?
So Billy Gilmore has come on for Scotland and he has replaced what looks to be Ryan Christie. And I would imagine Steve Clarke is looking at potentially consolidating that midfield, because the midfield in that first half looked pretty much invisible. And for the Faroe Islands, it's the same 11 that started the game. And we are currently a minute into the game, and Scotland have made a much better start than they did in the first half. And they've put a cross in here. It's a flick on, but no, Faroe Islands clear that very easily. So it's still 0-0 here, but Scotland with the change. Other than that, it's going to be an interesting second half, especially considering that Israel are leading, which means that Scotland have to get a win here to keep their playoff hopes alive. Back to you, JB.
Oh, yeah, I'm back on. We're back live with you now. Apologies there. I thought we'd got commentary back, but we haven't. Apologies there. I was commentating and had no sound. England, anyway, we're underway in the second half. And I forgot there that there was no commentary. I'm not used to this StreamYard malarkey. Anyway, England are back out for the second half. It's both sides unchanged. That I can tell you. And there's been a bit of crowd trouble. I've heard reports as well during half time. Anyway, both teams are back out. We've been underway for about 2 minutes. Foden with the corner into the penalty area. Punched away by the goalkeeper Pickford. It comes out to Grealish. When you get into the zone, apologies there for everybody there. We all make mistakes. But England 1, Hungary 1 is the score. Nothing really happened in the first sort of minute and a half of the second half, so you missed absolutely nothing in terms of any activity. But Scotland doing really well, making a bright start to the second half, and we'll check in with Ryan throughout the second half here on the TC Hub. And of course, there's been trouble between the Hungarian fans, 1,000 of them here tonight, most of them ultras. Started fighting with local police. In fact, the police had to retreat down an exit down to a concourse at Wembley. Again, disgraceful scenes. And it all began when the England players took the knee at the start tonight at Wembley as Grealish now gets possession. Goes down. That surely must be a free kick. Well, definitely a corner. Corner, I think, has been awarded by the Spanish referee. And Nego and Grealish having a bit of a conflab there, the two number 7s, and Grealish is having a few words with his opposite number there. Apologies if you didn't hear the first sort of minute and a half. I'm still trying to work out StreamYard sometimes. Anyway, it's a corner to kick to be taken by Shaw. Into the area it goes, and Mings was up there from the corner. We'll come back to the trouble with the crowd in there. Mings goes down. No penalty. I don't think a penalty was going to be given in a month for Sunday. There were no great appeals from the England players, all the supporters alike. Grealish gets possession on the far side. He's Declan Rice. Rice now running towards the area, and he goes down, but referee says that's no foul. I think Rice, in fairness, went down rather too half-heartedly there. And here come the Hungarians. They're unchanged from the first half, remember. So just a quick run through again. Pickford, Walker, Stones, Mings, Shaw, Foden, Rice and Mount, Sterling, Kane and Grealish. Galasic, Lang, Nagy, Solari, Heske, Strong, Nagy, Neko, Schaffer, Solari and Bobzewski as Hungary come forward again. And the ball is played back in there now by Sharon. Sharon has it out on the left. Feeds Nagy, one of the two Nagy brothers in there. That was out with the ball played in there. And Grealish kicks it out and has a lot of Shaw, but it comes off Neko, and it's out for a throw. And let's just quickly cross to the Faroe Islands and see how Scotland are getting on. Apologies, Ryan. I thought I had my mic switched on. It turns out it didn't. Oh, yours, just for a moment.
So Scotland, I did make a mistake there. Scotland did not bring on Billy Gilmour. It was actually the fact of he has been on the pitch for the whole of the first half, but he's had such little impact that I hadn't actually realised. And the second half has been completely different to the first half. There has been a bit of controversy over here as well. There was a potential penalty appeal for Scotland when Billy Gilmour himself was brought down, and we had about a 2-minute delay of VAR checking, and it turned out that Billy Gilmour was actually offside before the challenge took place. So the Faroe Islands had a free kick. And from that resulting free kick, the Scotland defence were caught napping and Faroe Islands got through. But again, the Faroe Islands have just been awful with their finishing since Craig Gordon's triple save, and they put it over the crossbar. So it remains 0-0, and we have played just over 10 minutes in this game. Back to you, JB.
And you can hear me loud and clear now, guys. Thank you, Ryan. The ball back to Pickford. It's 1-1 here. We've just had about 6.5 minutes of the second half, so we're just a couple of minutes behind Ryan and his mates down in the Faroe Islands. It's 1-1, 0-0 there, but plenty of good drama there. And it's 1-1 here as the ball is now with Hungary. The ball comes in, shot comes in, fired in there off the defender. It was Solari who scored the penalty in the first half. Remember, we've had crowd trouble here, and the Hungarians have actually played a very good tactical game. Interesting to see Ennio Lukov saying that Shaw shouldn't have put his hand up, foot up. But what else was he supposed to do when clearing that ball on the penalty? I thought it was a silly decision from the referee. That's my opinion. I'm not really in agreement with Ennio Lukov there, to be perfectly honest. But under the laws of the game, sometimes those decisions will go against you. But England have recovered, but they've got a corner to defend here. It's 1-1. The ball played into the area, and there's a chance there, and it almost fell to Adam Lang inside the penalty area. Hungary harrying on the far side, still 1-1. Here comes the number 13, Schaffer. Schaffer got the ball back, and a chance there, and it wouldn't come for Nagy. Zolnacki just couldn't get the ball there, and he's on possession again. Has to go back. Of course, one of the two brothers, of course, Adam Nagy wears number 8, and here he is now on the ball. Here he is now, running in from the left-hand side. 1-1 the score here, live on the TC Hub. JDAC Football, JB Sports, Storm FM, and TC Hub 2. We're also on Periscope, Twitter, and Twitch, and our streaming partner for the season is kindly partnered by Melon App. Check out their Melon streaming app at www.melonapp.com. And of course, we're also on Facebook at www.facebook.com/The Commentary Hub. And of course, we're on Twitter, of course, at TC Hub 1, at Commentary Live 1. If you want to drop me a line, it's Stutzy83. I'm not sure if Ryan's on Twitter, but we'll ask him a little bit later for that. But at the moment, it's 1-1 here between England and Hungary, and it's 0-0 between Scotland and the Faroe Islands, 0, Scotland 0, I should say. Scotland away from home tonight. Of course, they had that dramatic victory over Israel on Saturday, one of the great qualifying games. And it was certainly, watching the highlights show on Saturday, ITV deemed it worthy to be at the top of the programme, which quite rightly it should have been, because it was certainly a cracking game. But they haven't made the breakthrough tonight. Here's Foden on to Sterling, and Sterling's got him round the back on the right-hand side. He's got Kane in the middle, and the cross was cut away. Cut out brilliant by Peter Golaski, but it's not away yet. Golaski having to dive to his right in the 6-yard area to stop the cross getting towards Harry Kane. He's been not in the best of form for his club in terms of league football this season, but did score a couple of goals against Hungary last month. So he does know where the back of the net is. Here's the ball played over, and it's Phil Foden now. His free kick led to the equaliser goals put away by his Manchester City teammate John Stones. One apiece here at Wembley Stadium if you've just joined us. Where have you been? 10 minutes of the second half played. Here's Walker, has to go backwards. Finds Stones. Stones now onto Raheem Sterling. And Sterling now gets away from two opponents down the right-hand side. Plays it into Kane inside the area. Kane. Oh, he tried to do too much there, but he was isolated and he's hurt himself. Doing the one-legged hop there. I think he might have hurt his foot or his toe or something to that effect. Anyway, here comes number 7, Neko now for Hungary. Drawing 1-1, remember. Ball played in, but well cut out and walking out. Oh, he's lost possession. And Hungary have a chance here. They've got a chance inside the area, and it's the number 13 that went forward, and it was Schaefer who went forward there. And Hungary, well, that was not very good football from Kyle Walker. That's got to be said. England struggling a little bit at the moment. Here's Luke Shaw now. Can England wrestle the advantage away? They've got to snap out of it. Grealish is out on the far side. This is Jack Grealish. He'll take on his man. Plays it back to the edge of the area. Can Kane do something with the ball? 56 minutes gone. England 1, Hungary 1. Good game this. And Hungary are making a fight of it. Grealish now towards the penalty area. Left-hand side. Kane shoots. And he turned and shot just from the left-hand edge of the penalty area and straight into the arms of Peter Galassi. No trouble at all. So England denied again. Lovely turn away. Got the shot off, but it was quite a half-hearted attempt, really. hit very tameless. Galassi kicks away from his hands. Over the halfway line it goes. And Mings had to read that because Solari had ghosted in round the back. And Mings just about got the header. Now the ball now played to Grealish. Can he keep it in behind the corner quadrant? The answer is yes. And he'll take on the defender here. Number 3, Akes. Hits it against him, in fact. Here's Mount. Mount for England. The Chelsea man. Finds Declan Rice, his West Ham colleague. Works for Sterling. This young England side. They've got plenty of match winners on the bench, including the likes of Saka and Abraham and Jadon Sancho. That can turn the game, of course. Trippier, who captained the side in Andorra on Saturday evening. He's also there too. 57.5 minutes gone. JB, John Stuttard, your commentator, commentated on England against Hungary for the TC Hub. Of course, Nicholas Jones will be commentating on the England women in just over 10 days' time on the 23rd of October, Saturday. So just over a week's time, he'll be in the com box where I'm sat now, commentating on the England women in front of hopefully a very good crowd at Wembley as well. So join Nicholas if you can. Onside is Harry Kane. He's had to push out towards the left-hand side. Now the flag goes up. And I don't agree with this silly ruling from FIFA. If he's offside, put the flag up. Why let the game breathe for 5 minutes when you know full well that Kane is offside? He was offside. There's no debating that call. But why let it go for 5 minutes, for 5 seconds, and then put the flag up? I just do not understand why we have to put up with this feeble of a law for offside. If he's offside, you put the flag up immediately, then get on with the game. And I find that completely and utterly bemusing, that silly little rule. I know it's to suit the VAR people, but I find that an absolute ball ache. It's a ball ache for players, it's a ball ache for commentators and managers alike. And all we want is a 3-point game. If you want to get on with it quickly, just, I don't know. I think the rules set by FIFA today boggle the mind as much as their management do. I mean, there's talk of Arsene Wenger restructuring it to have the World Cup every 2 years. I frankly think it's a ridiculous idea. I respect Wenger as his time as Arsenal manager, and I respect a lot of the things he's done in the game. But surely that idea is got to be one of the most ridiculous ideas I have ever come across. You can't have a World Cup every 2 years, and then at the end of it, I think the Nations League should be scrapped for the same reason. The players are playing too much football. I mean, the Nations League, and this isn't sour grapes because England weren't in it. It was actually a very good tournament, won by France in the end. A terrific who won a terrific match against Belgium in the semi-final in Milan last week. And then beat Spain quite controversially, as it happened in the final in Milan. But I think the Nations League's got to be scrapped. I mean, it's just, I don't think many teams take the competition seriously enough. And then the whole qualification system for it is completely and utterly complicated. I think UEFA should scrap it. We've had two attempts at it, and I've found it confusing on each time. And I think scrap the whole idea. Anyway, here's Phil Foden for England. Space on the left-hand side for Sterling. Gets the cross in, deflects. And England get, I think, is it a throw-in off Nagy? I think it's a throw-in. Or is it a corner? Can't tell you that. It is a corner. So Foden to take it. We'll all check in with Ryan Francis in a few moments. As soon as we get a breaking play here at Wembley. The rain is coming down now at the National Stadium at Wembley. The new Wembley under the arch. Red and white lights all around it. Even on the arch as Foden crosses in there. The header wide and it's gone in. Is it? No, it's gone wide. John Stones on the end of the corner. It was a wonderful corner from Phil Foden from the right. Stones got a good head on this. But thought from first glance it had gone in. He got above his man. The ball bounced and Oh, it's inches wide of the post. So England have missed a great chance to go ahead now. Let's see how Scotland are getting on over in the Faroes. Have they scored yet? The man to tell us is Ryan.
Well, Scotland may not have scored yet, but the Faroe Islands have come very, very close. It was a counter-attack from a Scotland corner, and the Faroe Islands, I just don't think it's going to be their day today, have hit the underside of the crossbar. And I don't think you're going to get any closer than that. But going back to what you were saying, JB, about the offside rule, well, the Faroe Islands are going to be completely agreeing with you here because the Faroe Islands have been forced into a substitution because of that exact rule. So the number 4 for Faroe Islands, which is Vanstal, was taken off with an injury. He went to clear the ball, and by the looks of things, has pulled his hamstring. And Dykes was at least 5 centimeters offside, if not more. He has been replaced by Cam, but we're also seeing another Faroe Islands defender down at the moment, which is the right centre back, Pharaoh. He's literally just got back to his feet now. He's been down for the last couple of moments with what looks to also be a hamstring injury. So the football that is being played and is being asked of all of these players is starting to take its toll, especially on the Scottish players. They have definitely dropped with the intensity, and Dykes has also now just been booked for giving the Slovenian referee a bit of verbal criticism, but this Slovenian referee has been pretty much invisible all game, other than the first half when he kept putting those vital blocks in for Scotland. But it does remain 0-0 over here in the Faroe Islands. Back to you, JB.
Thank you very much indeed. Whilst we were away, England have made a substitution off. Came Grealish, and Bakaru Saka of Arsenal is now on. And Hungary had a half an opportunity, but England dealt with that okay. Anyway, they're on the attack now, and it's Kane now with the ball. Here's Foden, I should say. Gets the ball back to Declan Rice. Rice in possession. Gets it to Stones. Centre circle inside the Hungarian half. 1-1 here. Ball played out towards the far side. Mings now in possession. He's just drifted to the left a little bit. Here's Kyle Walker. He's gone a bit central as well, the right back. Feeds Foden. Foden now into Declan Rice. England now having good possession. Saka now. Real opportunity to see what he can do. Sterling has gone to the right-hand side. Saka went down. The referee isn't interested. To be fair to Saka, he didn't appeal the decision, got up and got on with the game. And the boy still in play amazingly. And Shaw almost got him behind. And a good tackle came in there, but it's a throw-in for England. Saka takes it. Looks for Rice. Rice on in turn to Stones. Deep inside the Hungarian half of the field to my right-hand side. Here's Walker now for England. Can they force and pick away through this sturdy defence at the moment? We've been breached once. Walker in possession. They're trying to play football between the lines. Second there with a bit of a ball, which has a little bit much of Mount, but he got the ball. Saka just showing a little bit of inexperience there, but we saw him. Well, last time I saw him was in Arsenal colours in the North London derby 2 or 3 weeks ago, and he was totally unplayable. And I'm not sure he was man of the match. I'll have to go through the TCO archives to find out whether he was player of the match. He was certainly in the running for it anyway. I think I might have given it. Well, he was definitely in for that award anyway. And we've got a JB player of the match to choose in this game, absolutely for sure. That's sponsored by Commentary Services. And we'll also get a player vote from the Scotland game from Ryan. Even though he's reporting, we'll still have him choose a player of the match, I think, tonight as well. So we'll choose player of the matches from both games. England 1, Hungary 1. And at the moment, a decent result for Marco Rossi's side. They've performed very well in defence. Have restricted England a lot. But England have had the chances, and by their own accord, to have gone to a 3-1 up at this present moment, as we're now coming up towards the halfway mark of the second half. No goals at the moment, and as And from what I heard from Ryan from Ryan over there in the Faroes, it's looking as if the intensity's probably got too much for everybody. There's a player down, and the referee stopped it. Well, unless it's an head injury, he was entitled to play on. Unless it is a facial injuries, I think it looks like a facial injury. So referee's got to stop it under the laws of the game. I think he's bloodied his nose, I think. It was a collision, I think, with Shaw. I don't think he knew much about that, Shaw. Purely accidental, but I tell you what, if he had meant it, he might have been in a bit of bobbing. Remember, he's already been booked. But I don't think there was anything in it at all. So Hollander is going to come on for number 19, Shalon. So that's the first substitution tonight for the Hungarians. Well, in 1953, they taught the English how to play the game. Tonight, they're teaching us how to defend. And I only hope, if only they still had a peak Ferrer and Puskás around today, they might have qualified for many a World Cup. But at the moment, All-Saran, but they're not playing like All-Sarans tonight. Defensively, they've been quite stout and quite disciplined. Ball played over towards the far side. Shaw reaches it. Now, what's the referee giving here? The ball out of play. I think it's a goal kick for Hungary. So 68 gone. Halfway through the second half. It's England 1, Hungary 1. And then updates, of course, on Scotland away at the Faroe Islands. You're hearing all this on the TC Hub, JB Sports, JDAT Football, Storm FM, and TC Hub 2. And then on Periscope, Twitter and Twitch. Let's just check in for a few moments with Ryan in the Faroe Islands to see if there's been any developments.
There's been no developments, but there has definitely been an interesting substitution. Hendry has gone off with what looks to be a foot injury. He's been down twice in the last couple of moments. He's been replaced by Callum McGregor. So it looks like Steve Clark is going with a bit more attacking intensity. But the Faroe Islands, I would say, are just slightly starting to take control of the game, but there's not really been any goal mouth action yet. It's all been in the midfield. And considering the results are going against Scotland at this current time, I expect Scotland to just up the intensity that little bit more, but they just don't seem to be rising up to the challenge. However, one person that is rising up to the challenge at the moment is someone that got heavily criticised this week in the newspaper, and that is Craig Gordon. People were saying that he's too old to be in the Scotland squad. He should have retired from international football. Well, today is a great display for that, because he has shown his doubters wrong. He has kept Scotland in this game, not just from his first half saves, but he's also made some quite crucial saves in this second half. But we're still missing that all-vital goal, as it still remains 0-0 over here in the Faroe Islands. Back to you, JB.
Thanks very much. Thanks very much indeed. I must remember not to do that again. But it's 1-1 here. We've had 69 minutes gone here at Wembley Stadium. It's still 1-1. You haven't missed anything here. And maybe just things dying down a little bit there in that game. We'll check in a little bit later on with Ryan. As they're well inside the last 20 minutes. We're about 4 minutes behind here at Wembley. As England now win possession, given away there by Adam Lang, and it's Kane that takes it up in towards Sterling. Sterling, oh, what a good save! Brilliantly by Peter Galassi. Sterling was in behind, and it was a mistake from Lang just on the halfway line, which presented Sterling with the ball, then played it to Kane down the left-hand side. Kane put a lovely ball in, maybe just a little bit too long for Sterling, but Peter Galassi, the Hungarian captain, anticipated it well and did very well to get his body behind it and smother it and hold on to the ball. Here's Saka now for England. Of course, he was certainly one of the standout performers in the 5-0 win against Andorra the other night. 8-4 in attempts to England, but still it remains 1-1 with 20 minutes to go here on the TC Hub. JB Sports, JDAT Football, Storm FM, and TC Hub 2 on Periscope, Twitter, and Twitch. And it's 1-1. Here's Tyrone Mings for England. Been a terrific second half, but yet still in the melting pot. This has been a terrific test for England. Of course, they've still got 2 very winnable games to go. But this is probably going to be another toughie. Referee playing an advantage there. There was a foul on an England player, but it's Saka now on the ball for England. And he's just 1 or 2 touches a little bit loose. But at the moment, Zalolt, Nagy has got him and Grace in the palm of his hand, although he's got to watch his step, of course. He's another one who's on a yellow card. Mounting possession, has to go back. England being really frustrated here by the Hungarians who are bored. All of them men back behind the ball. Mings in possession for England. Can England find something? They're playing 1 or 2 of the balls are not up to the strikers, or the forward players aren't sticking, and it's been really difficult. Here come Hungary again with their number 10, Sobatsky. Still it remains 1-1 here. And now they have possession again. The cross comes in, turned away by John Stones. And Mings got it out. Just having 1 or 2 technical glitches, but we're now back now with the game. Our monitor just seemed to just freeze a little bit there, but we certainly got the game now back up and running at a good pace, and the ball played into the penalty area and turned away by Walker. It was a good cross in there, and Hungary now starting to ask 1 or 2 questions. It was Sobarsky, so Bossale, who got the cross in. It was a very good cross. I can't pronounce his name. So I'm trying my best with pronunciations. Mings then got half an error on it, and Walker just had to knock it out. England in a little bit of bother here. 1-1. A corner to defend. Gareth Southgate, a very worried look on his face. Marco Rossi could probably sense blood here, maybe. Can Hungary nick another one? At the moment, we all turned up here tonight hoping for a decent, stress-free England night. It's not been any of that. And Sobatsky is now going to take the corner towards the near post. They headed away. And now Saka's on his way. Was on his mark. But it's Sobatsky again, number 10. And he's running there. But Mount got back. But it's now forward to Schaffer. Schaffer's crossing towards the penalty area from the left. But well taken by Jordan Pickford of Everton. And Pickford gets it out. And it's not a very good kick from Pickford. I don't think Nick Pope would have made that mistake. Just saying, Gareth. Here's number 11, Hollander. Has to go back. And at the moment, you've got to say, Hungary are probably just about be worthy of a point here tonight. England just haven't took their chances. Now, Saka might get England motoring here down that right-hand channel. Has to go back, though, to Declan Rice. Rice now for England. Feeds Foden. Foden to Saka. Edge of the area. Ball played in, deflected into Kane. Harry Kane! Oh, he's absolutely shanked it wide. He's absolutely, I think he may have actually shinned it wide, and he's badly sliced it anyway. Ball breaks kindly, and Kane off the defender. The flag stayed down. So regardless whether he was in an offside position as the ball was played, because it came off a Hungarian defender, Harry Kane has blasted the ball wide. And England have wasted another glorious opportunity. Goal kick given. Jordan Henderson ready to come on for Hungary with a quarter of an hour just over the play. We'll check in with Ryan in a few minutes' time. If it's been a goal scored, we will cross to Ryan as soon as we get wind of a goal scored in the Faroes. But at the moment, that's 0-0, and it's 1-1 here. England have missed a golden opportunity for Harry Kane. Here's Sterling now, left-hand side. In there towards Mount, and he's asked a lot of Foden. Can he keep it in? He can. That's the answer. Kept it in twice and then not a third time. And Foden wanted a free kick. The linesman said throw in. And And we're going to see Jordan Henderson and number 18, Tammy Abraham, come on. So Harry Kane is being subbed. No, it's not. It's Raheem Sterling, rather. Harry Kane is being subbed. And he will be taking the place of Tammy Abraham. And then we've got Raheem Sterling replaced by Jordan Henderson. Let's just check on Scotland while those substitutions are being made with Ryan.
So the Faroe Islands have currently got a very dangerous free kick, which they flick on. But no, Craig Gordon has been absolutely phenomenal and makes another great save. But just before that free kick, Grant Hanley had made a tackle that I think any Sunday League defender could emphasise with. He went clattering through his opponent and is very lucky to get away with a yellow card, because that could have possibly have been a red on another day. But the Faroe Islands, with 8 minutes to go until the 90th minute, are starting to just notch up the pressure now. Scotland have taken their foot off the gas in the last couple of minutes. I can potentially see this heading towards a 0-0, or possibly Faroe might just nick it. Scotland definitely concentrating on their defensive abilities now, and Scotland have just made a double substitution. Ryan Christie has now been taken off. He's been replaced by Nisbet, and the other change that has just been made is, I'm just trying to work it out now. It looks like, yep, it's Ryan Fraser has been replaced by Patterson. So Steve Clarke is definitely bringing on the attacking changes in his hopes to try and claim a point, because as things stand, Scotland do not have their destiny in their own hands. They are currently not going to make it to the playoffs. So this could definitely have a very, very bad effect here if Scotland do not grab all 3 points. But we'll wait and see. It's still 0-0 here, over here in the Faroe Islands. JB, all over to you.
Thanks very much, Ryan. And of course, the FA Cup first round draw takes place, of course, on Sunday afternoon, and we'll be all over that for you on certainly on JB Sports. And of course, we'll be bringing you extensive commentary. We'll be bringing you commentaries all the way from the first round to the final next month. FA Cup football coming to you on the TC Hub all the way to Wembley. Of course, join Nicholas Jones on the 23rd for the England women in action. That should be a cracking game there. And meanwhile, Foden is fouled, is he? No, the referee's quite happy about that. Ball out of play. Of course, England Albania is the next game, of course, at Wembley, 12th of November. That will be the final international break of the year. And then, of course, all systems will be go for an international break in February. And then as the build-up to the World Cup commences, should England qualify, they should qualify from that position. Haven't lost a game yet in qualifying for the tournament, or in trying to qualify for the tournament. It's not been one of their great nights so far. Number 18 is about to come on. That is Vesey. And number 21, Hahn, is going to come on as well. We're going to see number 13, Andreas Schaefer, withdrawn. And Vexley will come on. That's the first change as the Hungarian supporters, most of them thugs, considering what they did at the start. And I make no apologies for that. And then, so there's that first change as I was talking about. Vesey on for Schaefer, and then Shalari, who scored the penalty, of course, replaced by number 21, Hahn. So with 12 minutes, with just under 11 minutes to go, we're a little bit behind what's happening in the Faroes, but we'll try and keep you abreast with that. So plenty of good football, Premier League football, of course, on Sunday as well for you to come. So we've got all sorts of weird and wonderful happenings here for you this evening. Meanwhile, a free kick to England as deep inside Hungarian territory, just to the left-hand side, midway inside the Hungarian half. Shaw will take it from the far side. England have brought 3, 4, 5, 6 men forward, including Tyrone Mings and John Stones on the edge of the penalty box. Can England, in the last 11 and a half minutes, nick a winning goal? from somewhere. There's been a goal in the Scotland game. We'll bring that to you in a moment or two after this set piece. Shaw sends that in towards the penalty area. Header one and taken by the goalkeeper. Let's cross over to the Faroe Islands and Ryan Francis for the latest news on a goal scored in that game. Who's it gone to, Ryan?
The goal has gone to Scotland. Patterson down the right-hand side, completely unchallenged, had all the space in the world, has put a cross into the near post, and who else but Langdon Dykes in with the touch to put Scotland 1-0 up. Faroe Islands are complaining about a possibility of a handball, but the VAR are currently checking it. So Scotland fans, do not get too far ahead of yourself just yet. But looking at the replays, I can't see there being any possibility of this goal being ruled out. So Scotland could potentially be back on course for the playoffs. But we are still waiting for this VAR check to be confirmed. But it's looking likely. It's taken a while, so maybe there is something that I have missed. Nope, Mr. Jug is definitely not going over to the screen, so it's looking promising. There's definitely no chance that's hit his hand. That's, if anything, that's hit his thigh at the most. But Faroe Islands are still pleading their case to referee Mr. Jug, and we are still waiting for this VAR check. This is something that I definitely think needs to be sped up. These VAR checks, especially in this game, are taking far too long for such simple decisions to be made. And the argument is that it's ruining football, and I think there is a case for that, definitely. But we've just got to wait for FIFA to amend those rules. We are still waiting on this goal check, so VAR are taking their time, very, very long time. And the goal has been given. The goal has been given. Langdon Dykes has been awarded the goal. The Scotland fans are celebrating, and it is Faroe Islands 0, Scotland 1. Back to you, JB, at Wembley.
That was a very long pause, that is for sure. You didn't miss anything here at Wembley. John Stones has been receiving treatment for an injury. That's why we allowed Ryan to carry on with the VAR check and just to see whether Scotland had scored the goal or not. It turns out that they have done, and great news for Scotland. Not so great for England, I'm afraid. Still 1-1. John Stones off the field for a few moments, and the ball played forward, and it's going to be with Peter Golaski now. We've got about 7 minutes for stoppage time to go. We're getting towards the end of the Scotland game, and we'll be crossing to Ryan at full time, and we'll get his views on man of the match as well. But at the moment, we're going to stick with England until the bitter end. So Ryan will have to just wait a few moments. I know he's a few minutes ahead of us, but we've got a game that's finally balanced on the knife edge. If a goal goes in, we will cross to Ryan. But that was a bit of a wait and a half there over in the Faroe Islands for Ryan. But he's got a goal to describe for us. And Sterling, Saka's been dispossessed, and the shot came in, and it was over the top from Hollander, just to the left of the penalty area. Right-footed, and Saka really was dozed in, but was really dozy in possession there. Got the ball. Mind you, might have been a tackle from behind as well. But England really at 6s and 7s a little bit here. They just haven't really motored the way that they usually do here at Wembley Stadium. They need to get that majority of the supporters behind them, 70,000 of them. And it's trouble at home for England. Normally, Wembley's such a fortress for them, but they've had a tough examination. Maybe this is a bit of an education, maybe a reality check maybe tonight. Here's Kyle Walker for England. They won't give up England. Saka knocks the ball back. Looks for Henderson. Looks a nice ball looking for Shaw. Can't reach it. Here's Mount for England. Far side. Gets the cross in. There's just too much width. And then the goalkeeper inexplicably punched it out. Comes to Foden on the right-hand channel. Miscontrolled it, but he got it back. Henderson now of Liverpool gets the ball into the area. But he's been dispossessed once again. England making the changes. No goal for Kane tonight. And that's been a And there's been a bit of a melee. We'll all cross over as soon as we get a breaking play. There's been a bit of a melee. 6 minutes of added time at the Faroes, but we'll come over to that as soon as we get a second or two to breaking play, because England have possession. We've got to stick with this one. Henderson now to Foden. Foden knocking the ball forward. Seconds inside the area. Can't control it, and it falls to Galassi, who takes possession. And in fact, it was Tammy Abraham, I should beg your pardon there. It's easy to get everyone mixed up a little bit here as Galassi kicks away down the field, and it'll be Jordan Pickford now. Hits it up the penalty area and out of play. Let's just quickly check on Ryan. There's been a bit of a melee, I'm told.
Yes, and it was completely I don't understand what McTominay was thinking there. Henriksen gets the ball, and a free kick's given to the Faroe Islands, and then McTominay, just for some reason, pushes Henriksen to the ground, and Henriksen retaliates, which starts off a massive melee, and referee Jug has got a very, very interesting 5 or so minutes left of this game, as the tempers are definitely heating up. But McTominay got booked and Henriksen got booked. Henriksen will miss the next game, and McTominay now is one booking away from a suspension. So in my eyes, McTominay didn't need to make that challenge. He didn't even need to retaliate at all. He should have just let the Faroe Islands take the free kick. Scotland are winning, but I don't know. Maybe people are starting to lose their heads here, but it remains Faroe Islands 0, Scotland 1. Back to you at Wembley, JB.
Thank you. Here's Shaw now playing the ball in. Just come back to me, Ryan. As England were attacking with Shaw. Now we're going to stick with it. We're going to stick with this game till the conclusion, and then come to Ryan with his full-time appraisal at the end of the game. We'll get his views on player of the match in that game as well at full-time before we end. I've got to choose a player of the match as well. It's going to be a tough, difficult test. I'm edging maybe towards John Stones at the moment. In fact, I'm going to choose John Stones as the player of the match. He's been really good, really good for England tonight. Scored the goal. Could have had a couple of other goals as well. He's looked really good coming forward. Defensively, he's been sound. John Stones is my player of the match, sponsored by Commentary Services for England tonight. 1-1 is the score. Can England finish with a flourish? Shaw tries to keep it in. Mount takes possession on the left-hand side. It's been a cracking game of football. Good result for Scotland at the moment as we stand in the Faroes. Can England get a result themselves? Goal kick given. Mount thinks it should have been a penalty. But the Spanish referee keeping him in tune with one or two questionable decisions, as not giving potentially a penalty there for England. One or two England fans now starting to leave to beat the traffic at Wembley, and England. And now Galassi is taking his time there. He took that about 20 seconds on that goal kick. Ridiculous amount of time wasting. If it was a Burnley player, if it was Nick Pope taking that, he'd have been booked. Just saying. Here's Saka now for England. Saka gets away from one man, finds Phil Foden. Foden's crossed towards the back post, and again Galassi with a good fist away, shot back in, and the ball goes wide from Tammy Abraham, the man who's had a new lease of license, joining Jose Mourinho at Roma. Scored 2 goals on Saturday. Could have scored there in the last 90 seconds potentially of normal time. And he's maybe just a smidgen and maybe a shade offside there. The flag did actually go up in actual fact, and Abraham saw the goal. Wouldn't have counted, but so far frustrating night as Galassi takes the free kick from just inside the penalty area. Shaw wins the header on the far side on the halfway line, but Hungary have held in there. But can Stones, our player of the match, who's been in the walls tonight, wins another header, but it's a throw-in for Hungary. Scotland having to endure a 6-minute period at the end. Well, it's been at the end of their game. It's all happened here, it's all happened there, and it's all happened here. 1 apiece. England at the moment being held, and we won't know what the other results are. We will, before we leave you, we will give you a full Zobazari has been booked number 10. England get the throw. We will give you a rundown of all tonight's results at the end of the programme before we leave you at around about 5 to 10. We're into stoppage time here at Wembley. England 1, Hungary 1. Scotland winning 1-0 against the Faroe Islands. 4 added minutes for England to find a winning goal. Foden asking a lot of Luke Shaw, who does well to keep it in play. Now Tyrone Mings has possession. England being held here. 2 points dropped, absolutely for sure, if it ends this way tonight. Here's Walker in the side of the centre circle, in the Hungarian half. Looking for options. Looks for Abraham. Finds him. Back to Walker. Here's Rice out to Shaw. Left-hand side. Shaw's crossing to the penalty area. Can't find Abraham. Shaw will get it back a second time. Has to knock it back to Mings. And that's been the theme, really. It's been a little bit like watching Burnley a little bit in spells tonight, because it's certainly something that they do. Here's Saka now down the right-hand side. Has to go down a Brian Ellie, if you like. Here's Foden to Rice. Rice to Mings. Still, the game being exclusively being played in the Hungarian half. We've had a minute of the 4. Referee says free kick to England. Foul again by Neko. He's sure he must be getting booked now. He must have had an accumulation of certain fouls, and I think the referee has to book him for that. Meanwhile, a bit more time wasting there. Nikolic, number 23, and number 14, Bola, about to come on. Number 7, Neko, is actually going to be substituted. And he's taking his time over this. And the 4th official's making an absolute Horlicks of these boards. We're also going to see number 23 here, Ollie Watkins, now introduced to the fray. He's only going to get a couple of minutes at the end here. Can England get this last gas winner? Ollie Watkins of Aston Villa. Szoboszlai is going to be replaced by Nikolic. And looks like Abraham is injured. Tammy Abraham is injured. That's why we're going to see Ollie Watkins. So, injury there for Abraham. That's bad news for Roma and for Jose Mourinho. Ollie Watkins of Aston Villa, though, has a chance now to make himself a hero. Free kick into the area. It's a poor free kick. It's absolutely diabolical from Foden, I should say. Foden gets it on the far side. Can he keep it in play? Yes, he can. Shaw now with the cross. Hits the defender. Corner England right at the end. Right at the end here now. 90 seconds of the game remaining. Can England get a late winner here? Shaw to take it far side. How they would love a delivery of genius from Luke Shaw now. All the big men up in there as you'd expect. It's a deep corner there. Watkins was right up there. Comes to Foden. And Watkins is there. Watkins shoots. And it's straight into the arms of Golaski. And it's not going to be England's night, I don't think. Golaski again taking his time in clearing the ball. We've played 3 of the 4 minutes at the end. Oh my goodness me. Here's Shaw now heading it forward. John Stones, remember, our player of the match, sponsored by Commentary Services. Just to remind you. England being frustrated here. Here's Henderson now. Can't find Saka. Henderson will try again. Blocked away. Desperate defending from the Hungarians, and they might nick it here. As Hahn comes forward. Hahn takes on Walker. Walker muscles him out. It's an English throw. They've got 25 seconds of the stoppage time to go. They've got to get the ball forward. It's 2 points dropped for England at the moment. Shaw in possession on the left-hand side. Goes in field to Rice. They need a delivery of some quality now. 10 seconds remaining. Walker in possession. Chips it into the area. Looking for Watkins. Out comes the keeper, and he takes it well under pressure from Watkins. Golassi's had a super night, and he's injured. And he's injured himself quite badly, it looks like, and they're going to have to stop it. We play 4 minutes. Watkins, you've spoken to by the referee. You went a little bit overboard, but you could understand Watkins' frustration there. But the goalkeeper clearly got it. No doubt about that. And he's quite seriously hurt. I don't think there's any play acting involved here, but what a point this is going to be for Marco Rossi's men. What a point this is going to be. It's finished 1-0 to Scotland. We'll get a full-time report from Ryan as soon as the whistle goes. He's up and on his feet, I'm pleased to tell you, but I think that's it now. I think that's it now. And he's taking his time again with these goal kicks. He's taken about 20 seconds, and the referee should be adding time on for this. Absolutely preposterous. Anyway, he's going to take the free kick, and it's going to be a point only, I'm sure, for England now. We're still playing on, incidentally. Referee's checked his watch once. And he's going to allow this throw-in to be taken. Oh, is he? No, he's not going to allow it to be taken. We've played a minute over in any case, and it's only 1 point for Gareth Southgate's men. And you've got to give a little bit of honours to England, and Luke Shaw there shaking hands with the Hungary manager there, Marco Rossi. And Gareth Southgate and the two managers shake hands, and I don't know what Gareth Southgate was saying, but the Hungarians, most of them who caused trouble in the first half, will go home very happy. But England had several chances. Could they have had a penalty? Solaria put Hungary in front after a controversial penalty given against Luke Shaw. England then got back through the equaliser from our player of the match, John Stones. He had a couple of great opportunities to score himself. But honours have ended even. And, well, there we go. Anyway, full-time here, 1-1. It's full-time in the Faroe Islands. And to get his assessments and the player of the match from that game, let's join Ryan Francis for his final appraisal. Ryan.
So, if you're a Scotland fan at the stadium, I definitely think you would feel like Scotland have nabbed the 3 points here. And if you're a Faroe Islands fan, I feel like you'll be hard done by, because I don't think the Faroe Islands deserved to come away empty-handed, especially considering towards the end of both halves, they were the better team. And in the first half, they did start a lot better than Scotland. But my man of the match has got to be the man who has kept every Scottish man's dream alive, Craig Gordon. As I said on my Twitter, if you're not already following me on Twitter, I'm RyanF_live. So make sure to follow me, because I will be giving updates on Friday when I am live for the Birmingham City West Brom game. So make sure to follow me there. But going back to the Faroe Islands and Scotland, maybe Scotland deserved a point, possibly not. The argument could be made, but they nearly didn't come away with the 3 points, because deep into stoppage time, there was an appeal for a Faroe Islands penalty, a handball by Grant Hanley. However, VAR agreed with Mr. Jug, saying that the handball was not clear enough to be awarded. So Faroe Islands do come away empty-handed, and unfortunately that does mean that they are not going to make the playoffs. But Scotland are still in with a fight for the playoffs, so maybe we could see Scotland, maybe not. We'll see how they go against whoever I think they play Moldova next, but they will be without Dykes and will be without Christie. So Scotland come away 1-0 winners. Back to you, JB.
Thank you very much, Ryan, and well done on your debut tonight. And hopefully we'll hear you on commentary. Of course, we've got West Brom and Birmingham coming up, I think, is it? Anyway, we'll be hearing from him on Friday night. Are you going to be live on that one, by the way?
Yes, I will be live on that one. Yep.
So you'll be hearing from Ryan. Thank you very much, Ryan, for your contributions tonight, and a great and terrific win for Scotland there. So Ryan will be with you on Friday night for the Big Midlands Derby, which you can hear on the TCRB's first proper commentary. Join him on Friday night if you can. Right, before I announce what games are going to be coming up on our platform in the next couple of days, let me run through all the full-time results around Europe for you in the qualifiers. It finished in Portugal's group. Portugal 5, Luxembourg 0, and Serbia 3, Azerbaijan 1, Kosovo 1, Georgia 2, Sweden 2, Greece 0. Sad news, I'm afraid, for Northern Ireland. The Ian Baracus men's hopes of possible playoff berth have all been ended, I'm afraid, by Bulgaria, who launched a second half comeback to win 2-1 in that group. They lost 2-1 in Sofia. I'm afraid they took the lead in Connor Washington, but nevertheless, with 2 goals in the 53rd and 63rd minute, 10 minutes between them, saw Northern Ireland's brave resistance gone on that one. So sad news really for Northern Ireland tonight. Lithuania in the same group, Lithuania 0, Switzerland 4. So Northern Ireland, I'm afraid, have lost the opportunity of qualifying for the World Cup. But there's always the European Championships next time round in 2024. Of course, that takes place in Germany. Kazakhstan 0, Finland 2, Ukraine 1, Bosnia-Herzegovina 1. Denmark have beaten Austria by a goal to 0, so that actually helped Scotland a little bit, although Israel did beat Moldova, but only just by 2 goals to 0. Drama in the game in Albania, now in England's group. Poland have scored, so that just turns the power up on England slightly. They've played 12 minutes of injury time there. That's the latest score. Albania 0, Poland 1, so England are going to have the power turned up on them a little bit. Hungary 1-1, San Marino 0, Andorra 3. As things stand at the moment. So, yeah, it's not looking too good at the moment as regards that. So let's have a look at the World Cup qualifying European tables. Let's look at all the groups, in fact. Let's start with Group A. Serbia on top by a point from Portugal. They have 17 points, where Portugal have 16, but Portugal have a game in hand. And then there's a 10-point gap to Luxembourg, third, and obviously the Republic are out of it, of course. They actually beat Qatar in a friendly tonight. Azerbaijan have 1 point from 7 games. And have only drawn one and lost the others. Group B, Sweden on top by 2 points from Spain, who came runners-up in the Nations League. They've played 6 games. Greece have also played 6 games, but are something like 6 points, 4 or 5 points further back. Georgia have played 7, so too have Kosovo. They both have 4 points each and are out of it. Group C, Italy, who didn't play, are still top on goal difference from Switzerland, 14 points each, and then a big gap, a 6-point gap to Bulgaria in third. Northern Ireland are out now with 5 points, and Lithuania are definitely out with 3 points. Group D, France top. Again, they didn't play because they were playing Nations League finals, but they're still in a good position, 3 points ahead of Ukraine in second place, and have a game in hand, the world champions, incidentally. Finland are third with 8 points, because still get into a playoff spot. Bosnia still have got a chance, even though they're down in 4th place, and Kazakhstan prop up the rest in that group with 3 points. In Group, hold on a minute, in Group E, it's Belgium top by 4 points, in fact by 5 points from the Czech Republic in second place. Wales are in third, so they've still got a chance of a playoff spot, you know. They're only out of the second place because of an inferior goal difference. Estonia are then next up on 4 points, and Belarus on 3, won 1 and lost 6. Group F, Denmark. This is Scotland's group. Denmark have won all 8 of their matches so far, have a goal difference of plus 27, and have conceded no goals. Plus 27 goals in the group so far, and none against them. So their defence has looked solid as well. And Simon Kjær is now on the shortlist to the Ballon d'Or award, and I hope he gets into the top 3 at least, because he's had a remarkable year this year. Scotland are second with 17 points, and 5 points further back come Israel and Austria, now definitely out of contention as things stand now. There's no way they can knock back 7 points now. And all Faroe Islands have 4, Moldova have 1, and they're definitely out of things. In Group G, it's Netherlands top with 2 points from Norway in second place. They're in the playoff spot. Turkey are 2 points further back on 15 points. Then come Montenegro on 11, Latvia on 5, and Gibraltar have lost all 8 of their matches with a goal difference. Have only scored 3 goals and have conceded a whopping 34 goals. Well, not looking good for Gibraltar, is it? I'm afraid. The new whipping boys of football. Group G, Russia lead by 2 points from Croatia, who have 17 points. Russia have 19. Slovakia then 7 points further back on 10 points, along with Slovenia, 10 points each. Both teams have got. Then Malta and Cyprus are both have 5 points each, bringing up the rear. That's Group H. Now Group I, with England top by 3 points now from Poland, who won by a goal to nil. So it's not all over yet. England can still be top, but they've got a 3-point gap. Albania then coming to third place, or have dropped to third. They've got 15 points, and they've still got a chance of a playoff spot. Hungary now can't surely make it, though, despite their point tonight. They've got 11 points, and Andorra have 6 points, and San Marino have got no points with a minus 31 goal difference. And Group J, it's finally we've got Germany top. Germany top, they're easily sailing through at the moment. They've got an 8-point gap from Romania, who have 13 points. Then come North Macedonia on 12. They're only a point behind North Macedonia, and so too Armenia as well. Iceland have 8 points. They're definitely out, and Liechtenstein have just a 1 point. So that brings you all up to date with the qualifications for the European Championship qualifiers. I hope you very much enjoyed our coverage tonight. From there, that's the end of the international breaks until next month, of course. There's the FA Cup draw coming your way, definitely on JB Sports on Sunday. The draw for the first round takes place at 1:30. But let's keep you abreast of what's going to be coming your way in the next day or so here on the Commentary Hub. We have for you on Friday night. We have Friday night football, and it's a big one. It's the local derby in the Championship between West Bromwich Albion and Birmingham City. Ryan Francis, who you heard from as a reporter, makes his Commentary Hub commentating debut at the Hawthorns on Friday. Join him at 8, around about 10 to 8 tomorrow night, and then Friday night, and then hopefully we'll be on the air again. Premier League football at the moment confirmed that Newcastle Tottenham will be our featured game at 4:30 on Sunday. I'll be in the commentary box for that one. Russ will be hosting Newcastle's first game under the ownership of Amanda Staveley and co. They play Tottenham Hotspur, whose manager Nuno is under a lot of pressure. Will Steve Bruce be in charge? We'll have to wait and see. And hopefully we'll be able to bring you a Monday night match between Arsenal and Crystal Palace with Mike, but we'll get back to you on that one. And we'll have that confirmed. But those are the games are confirmed. If there's any Saturday games, we will confirm them. But that's the schedule that we've got as well. Don't forget, we've got England women later on the 23rd. That has been confirmed. Nicholas Jones will be commentating on that one. Kick-off for that one at Wembley. The England women against Northern Ireland. That kicks off at 5:15 on Saturday, the 23rd of October. Nicholas Jones will be commentating on that one for you. But tonight, it's been a frustrating night. It's been a great night for Scotland. They've nicked a result against the Faroes, and they've taken all the points. And Germany, in fact, qualified yesterday, I'm told, by Russ. So Germany are there. But finishing the show, folks, it's been a great night for Scotland. They stay in with a chance of the playoffs, but England have to wait a little while longer. Been frustrated and held by a never say die Hungarian side at Wembley tonight. 1-1 it finished at Wembley, 1-0 to Scotland. Northern Ireland are out, sadly. They can't qualify, agonisingly beaten away in Bulgaria. I hope you've enjoyed our commentary, and we'll hear, and as I say, it's West Brom against Birmingham City on Friday. Join Ryan Francis for that one if you can. But for me, for now, until Sunday, when I do the big game between Newcastle and Tottenham, have a fantastic rest of your week, and we'll see you very soon on the TC Hub and all the other platforms. Take care. Good night.